Well, hello. My name is Rylena. You can call me Alina or Raya for short. I am a graphic artist, illustrator, character designer, and I am trying my best to get into YouTube. As a little disclaimer, I am not a professional. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. And when it comes to doing a voiceover, I have not done this in a while. Um, For anybody who knows me personally, if you know me at all, you will know that I used to do YouTube videos and they were very bad, but this was like 4 years ago, so it was a very different experience. Honestly, I just had a different computer back then. My content was terrible, the quality was bad, the acting was bad. I used to make these like Minecraft videos. It's this whole entire thing. But now that I have this new computer and I've graduated college, I want to make art videos and I want to, you know, show my art process. So the whole theme of this video is a draw with me. And obviously, if you don't want to make art, if you don't want to draw, that is totally fine. You can just watch this video, you can have it on in the background, you can do whatever you would like. You can find something enjoyable out of this video and just, have fun and enjoy it. And listen to me ramble a couple minutes about my book because I think that's what we're going to be doing today. But if there's anything that you guys would like to hear, if you want to ask me questions, if you have questions about my characters, about me, about my art, feel free to ask them. I have Instagram, I have obviously YouTube, and you can ask me these things, and I'm going to try my best to post once a week. I'm thinking that I might post on Wednesdays, but I'm going to keep you guys updated because I am very, very busy at the moment. I am working as a freelancer, so my schedule is a little all over the place. But I want to do this. I want to produce more videos. I love editing, I love creating, and I love making these stories and telling stories through different mediums. Currently, I'm writing a book. But I love editing because you can tell a story through film, and there's just so many ways that you can do that. So there's so many things that I want to do here, and I hope that, everybody can find something fun to get out of this. That's what I hope for, anyway. For those of you who know me on Instagram, thank you for checking out this video. I appreciate the support, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. I don't think most of you have ever heard me talk before, so it's a little different. It's kind of intimidating to talk in a voiceover because I talk via chat most of the time. You guys have never verbally heard me speak. I don't do live streams often, so it's weird. It's different. I will get better. I promise. I just need to get back into it. It's been like 5 years. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, in the background, you are going to see that I am currently rendering out a character. His name is Skylar. His full name is Skylar Davis. He is one of my OCs from my fantasy novel. My novel is Magi Divine. It's going to be this fantasy science fiction novel. It's going to be multiple books. I'm thinking it's going to be around 8. It could be 10, 11. There's going to be prequels, there's going to be sequels, there's going to be half-side stories, there's going to be other sagas that connect to it. There is a lot that I have planned for this novel. But for Magi Divine, it's a very fantasy-focused book. It's going to be about magic, and it's going to come into you're going to see the concept of light versus darkness. You're going to see these epic fantasy battles. You're going to see basically found family. I love the concept of found family. I love the concept of family drama. Like, I have these characters who are biologically related, and they're basically on two sides of a war. We have the protagonist, we have the antagonist, completely different sides. We have Skylar, who is not a villain. His relationship with the MC, the main character, is kind of like they begin as enemies, but I don't see them as enemies as in enemies. I see them as reluctant allies. They don't want to work together, but they have no other options, so they end up having to interact and help each other, and they become friends over time. It's a very, very slow process. And romance is gonna be in there a little bit. It's not gonna be in the first novel, it's gonna pop up in the later books, but he is gonna be with my main protagonist at some point, I think. Speaking of my protagonist, I did not confirm who that is. So, for those of you who know, the persona of my book is Rylena, and that might seem a little weird because obviously I introduced myself as Rylena, and Rylena is my persona. She is the name that I go by online. That is the character who represents me as the creator, as the author. That is who I want to be seen as. When I say that, Rylena from Magi Divine is a version of my persona, but I don't consider her the direct version, because technically the character who represents me as my channel icon, as my social media profile, the character who commonly knows about the fourth wall and can break it at any time, that's going to be a character that I refer to as Void. Void is Rylena. She is a different portion of her soul. So that is my persona who knows a lot, and I can't get too into it because that's lore and I still need to finalize it, and there's a lot of spoilers, but Void is who represents me, and then Rylena from Magi Divine is a character who is a separate entity. She is a version of my persona. She does represent me. She's going to have some of my life experiences, but she is a character who has her own life, her own family, her own events, and she is going to be very different from who I am. And a lot of her experiences call back to mine. There are going to be things from my own life that have happened that I'm going to take inspiration from. But there's a lot of creative liberties. Obviously, I don't live in a magical world of gods and fays and elves and dragons, and it's not. There's a lot of freedom that I'm taking, and I should explain that the premise of the story is that this character, Rylena, she wakes up, she has no memories, she knows absolutely nothing about her past. She does understand the language, she can communicate, she can interact with these people, but she knows absolutely nothing about herself, who she was. Anything that made her who she was is gone. And she goes through this novel figuring out who she is, who she wants to be. And you, as the reader, you get to go through that journey with her. You get to figure out the truth of the narrative and what is happening behind the scenes, because I promise you, it is so much more than the first book. The first book is only the start of it, and there's going to be so much, and I am currently writing it. It is not finished. I am only on chapter 2 at the moment because I only actively started writing it, because I have been working on this novel for about 10 years. For most of it, I've been thinking about it, I've been planning it, I've been doing all the behind the scenes. Only now am I ready to kind of start actually writing the novel, and in the meantime, I'm going to continue making art of these characters, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. And if you guys have any characters that you would like to see, you can check my Instagram and you can figure out more info. I have some of them, they're going to be posted on my Instagram in the next few weeks. So you're going to see all the main characters, you're going to get introduced to them, you're going to get introduced to the antagonist, who's Wafina. And if you have anything that you would like to see with these characters, you can tell me and I can make videos about them, I could talk about them. I am totally down to do any of that. And if you have anything that you would like to ask me as the author, as the writer, as the artist, you could totally do that. Even if you just want to do like a Q&A, I would be down to do a video like that because I want to start posting videos like this and I need ideas. I honestly don't know what to talk about. So when it comes to my novel, obviously there's a lot that I can. There's so much that I could talk about. But it is also this thing of spoilers, and there's things that I can't tell you guys, and there are things that a lot of you might not even know who I am. You might not know what I've posted on Insta. You might not know what I've posted on Twitter. So a lot of you don't know anything about my characters, and I hope that this video kind of gives you a little bit of a premise, gives you an idea of who these people are and what happens in this story. But there's so much, and I'm going to be posting more about them, and I want to post more videos about them. So if you enjoy this kind of thing, please do let me know. But beyond that, I guess a good thing to start with right now is to talk about the character on the screen. So like I said, this is Skylar Davis. He is an elf. He is one of the main characters, and he is a protagonist alongside Rhaenyra. He is a character who's a reluctant ally. He is not as friendly. He is reserved. He is kind of mean to an extent. He doesn't have any ill intentions. He's just very distant and very mean on purpose to keep that distance. The only person that he can't bring himself to be mean to is Ivy, another one of my characters, who is a character who is similar to his sister. So he is friendly with Ivy just because she is so like Willow, who is Skylar's sister. So there's that relationship there. And then the other characters are kind of distant, they don't know him. Rhaenyra meets him, they kind of get off on the wrong foot a little bit, but in the end they end up traveling together and they end up getting closer. When it comes to Skylar's design, it's ironic because he was not an elf in the beginning. A few of you might know this, but he started off as like this animalistic hybrid. He was not human, he was not an elf, he had dog ears basically. I don't know why. I genuinely could not tell you. I mean, I know why. It was inspired by Minecraft Diaries, and I liked Aaron's character design, so I got inspired by that. But for Skylar, it did not make any sense because it wasn't who he was. So changing him to be an elf was just, it makes so much sense. It's who he is, it makes sense for him, and it fits him very well. But when it comes to his design and like the outfits that he actually wears, I feel like you see elves as these very elegant creatures, and they dress really nice and they have these very pretty outfits. And I wanted to draw Skylar like that because I can imagine him being like that, but for the first novel, he is obviously kind of hiding from something. Like if you pay attention to him, you can kind of catch on to the fact that he's hiding from someone or something, and that he is purposely being distant. He is obviously on the run, or something has happened and he would not want to stand out. So if he was wearing elegant clothing, if he was wearing lighter clothing and he stood out, it would just not be a smart thing for him to do. And he's a very logical character. He thinks a lot. He is very careful about what he does. So I decided to give him all black clothes and gave him a cape. Because, I don't know, I like capes, and it felt like something he would wear. The collar might be a little bright, but his name is Skylar. I want his color palette to be black and blue, along with the tan skin and the brown hair. So I think the color palette turned out very nicely in this illustration. The final result was very nice. I had a hard time with this illustration. I did a lot of things like 20 times. I kept redoing things because I could not decide on what I liked and what I didn't like. In the end, I did figure it out, and I think it turned out very nice. I'm not happy with everything, and in the end, this is how I imagine him. I can see this design being in my book, and I think that I'm going to draw it more. And I hope that I can draw him with other characters. I hope I can draw scenes from my book. And I hope that he is somebody who is easy to draw, because one of the things for him is that I wanted his design to be minimalistic, because when it comes to animation or doing big illustrations, I didn't want a detailed, complicated outfit that I would have to render every single time. I wanted something that would be simple. And that makes sense for him because he is a simple guy. Or that's how he's trying to appear. So it just makes a lot more sense for him to be that type of guy. Anyway, this video is not going to be much longer. There's about 20 minutes in total, and we're about 16 minutes in. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the speed paint finish up. And I hope you guys enjoy the finished results. Yet again, if you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments if you want to see more, if you want to ask me something, if you want me to do like Q&As or any type of videos. Tell me down below. I will love to have ideas. I need ideas. I don't know what to do with this channel. So if you guys want to help me out with that, it would be appreciated. And other than that, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to me talk, and I hope that it was enjoyable. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you may be, and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the speed paint.